The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Black first, my brothers and my sisters. Welcome to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I am your host, Afro Elite. Before we get started, please make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on any future content. Share this on your various social media platforms. All of that helps the reach and the growth of the channel, and for everything that you all do, I appreciate it sincerely. Thank you all very much. We got a decent number of people already in the room. Y'all been what? Y'all, I love it. Do I tell you guys I love you guys? I don't think I do enough. I love you guys. I really do. We got a lot of people in the room already. Let's see. We have Willis in here. It says Ho Holt. TWD, Jeff, Hurricane IQ, Oregon Bro, Nida Williams, Donna. We got over 30 people in the room right now. We got a lot of people in here. Everybody has been looking for this conversation. Now, if you guys don't know, on my Twitter page, I have had a space about this. This was like the day after everything went viral. And I said I was going to take that and I was going to put that on the podcast, which is eventually, of course, going to go back to YouTube after the podcast. So it's going to be on the podcast tomorrow. It's going to be on there tomorrow. And then YouTube a little bit later. The podcast gets it first. It's going to be on Spotify and all of that stuff. So I took it off Twitter. So if people were wondering, where was it? You know, where was it and all that? It's on Twitter. It's off Twitter, I mean. Because it's going to go on YouTube. I can't have it on every different platform. It's going to go on the podcast exclusively for a little bit. Let that build up. If y'all want to refresh, you know, I edited some stuff out, make it really nice. So that's good. And then on YouTube. So if you guys want to catch that. Now, let's just get started with this. Everybody has really seen the video of the woman in the hospital where she was making her. That's the video that went viral first. That's the one that went viral. The first one she took was the one where she was at the club confronting the guys. Most people, unless you've been off the internet for the last week, most people have seen those videos. So I don't really need to show you those videos again. However, the videos that I will show are already kind of going to show those videos. Another thing, there was a man who allegedly was there. Now, some reports have cited inconsistencies in him being there. Some people are saying, okay, you said this, now you're saying this, now you're saying this. Were you really there? Some people are doubting if he was really there or if he's just using this for clout, because let's be honest, a lot of situations like this pop up and people say, oh, I was there, I saw the whole thing, and they're lying. They didn't see anything. On his side, he says he has pictures and videos that can prove he was there at the time. So we're going to say, for the sake of the argument, he was there. Now, the situation goes, for the sake, what we know for a solid fact was that a woman was confronted by a man. The man picked up a brick and he hit her in the head with a brick and then walked off and drove off in his car. That's what we know. Her story is that the guy was trying to get her number. She told him no. He picked up a brick. And then she said, this is her words, she started saying he was going to hit her with the brick, threaten her with the brick, wound up hitting her with the brick, and then nobody did anything. Now, we do know nobody did anything. We know nobody did anything before when they were having their altercation, and then nobody did anything afterwards, okay? She wound up, I guess she called the police, called the ambulance to get to the hospital. This is what we know for a fact. The guy has come out. The guy has said, you know what? She's not really that innocent. People don't really know her story. And then there's a lot of other things that's been popping up. People found out that she had a GoFundMe a while ago. She had this GoFundMe a couple years ago. And then and that didn't go nowhere. Then she gets hit and another GoFundMe pops up and that's blowing up. People also have cited the fact that she makes a lot of pranks. She's you know, on TikTok doing slapping white folks or whatever the case is. She does a lot of skits and pranks, and she's like an attention person. So a little bit about her background has popped up. We don't necessarily, we're going to put a pin in that, because her skits and stuff like that. Let's say in this situation there was no skits being made. We don't know if she was making a skit with that guy and he got mad or something like that. We don't know that. So we're going to say all of her things are off. Now, another thing people have been questioning too is that this situation's gone viral, but there's no police report. Now, we have situations from the same night. She was at a club dancing with somebody. She was with her friends. She was not by herself, but she was outside by herself. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know where her friends went, and there was no police report. So a lot of people are asking a lot of questions because, okay, your story, you just want us to believe it, and nobody's saying you're lying, but there's little bits and pieces that we haven't heard from her, and we're not hearing from the guy who allegedly was there. So there's a lot of information we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So let's just keep that in mind. Now, this has gone super viral on all platforms. A lot of people, her friend, somebody asks, gets us Donna. She says, so her friends just left. Here's one thing we don't know. I don't know if her friends were there when she was hit outside, because she was hit outside. We don't know if her friends were there when she was hit, but we know she was with people at the party or the club. We know she was there with people. And we know when she was outside, her friends were not present. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know. And then her friends haven't made a statement or anything like that. So there's just some missing information. And this is not to justify what happened to her, but this is to put everything into context of there's people who have a lot of sympathy for her, but still are having questions, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? Because having questions does not necessarily mean you're justifying something happening. If you find inconsistencies, or you find that the story does not sail smoothly and you're questioning it, does not mean you're justifying her getting hit. It does not mean that. And then there's some people who are like, I think the whole thing fake. I think she did it on purpose. I think she's just a scammer, whatever the case is. And I think it's justified. So there's different types of people who are saying that. All right. Now, I mean, you said you never been to a club where your friends weren't with you. She had people with her. A lot of people have been asking, where were the people with her? So I'm giving you what we know, and then I'm giving you what we don't know. But regardless, this has gone super viral. Started like this debate between what the men should have done, the gender roles, all of this. And unfortunately, people who have agendas, negative agendas for the community, whether that's divestors, whether that's tethers, whether that's another thing which is important, everybody in this situation was non-FBA. That is a fact. That's a fact, and that's important. We're going to get to that a little bit later on, but that was very true. That's very, very true. Now, a lot of people have been, tethers, people who've been making fun of her kind of just for clout and reaction, for interaction, because people are going to kind of just make fun because they know it's going to get interaction. So we have a lot of that going on. Then we have people being all like, see, men don't protect women at all. Men are so terrible. Da, 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 da. Okay. So we're going to be responding and kind of debunking a lot of these agendas that people are trying to push with this situation, So let's get started. This guy right here goes by the name of Conscious Lee. But before we do that, actually, hold on. I almost messed up, y'all. Not copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Before we go, let me get to this super chat from YCCM23, super sticker. Thank you so very much for your support. I appreciate it sincerely. Now, I'm gonna say this before we get started. I gave my personal story on Twitter. I'm gonna run through it. There was a very similar situation where a woman I did not know at all, black woman I didn't know at all, was being attacked by somebody. Okay, I didn't know who that person was or anything. That person, they were in a relationship. I saw him hitting her and all that stuff. I ran out and I broke them up. I saved her. Okay. So I'm letting you know instinctively, me, myself, I'm not going to sit there and allow something like that to happen, whether I know the person or don't know the person. So I'm telling you that myself. On the other hand, when the cops came, she acted like she didn't know this person and they were allegedly married. So, and she didn't know where he went, what car he was driving or anything. So she didn't want to snitch. I put my safety on the line for her. And then she act like she don't know nobody. So a lot of people are coming at this with different angles. I'm letting you know personally, I'm not the type of person who can just stomach sitting back and not doing anything before or after even the fact. Letting you know that. Thank you very much, Eric Johnson, 1994 for the $2 super chat with the thumbs up. Appreciate you. But let's get into it. This is a person called Conscious Lee.
Yes, she did get hit by a brick. Yes, I saw it. Yes, I was standing by doing nothing. And if that shit happened again in the same circumstances, I will watch. Because she's not as innocent as she portrays herself to be. She was taunting the guy. She was calling him all type of names. She was degrading him to a point where he resulted in picking up a brick and hitting him.
For the people that's watching this video, throughout this entire live, you need to ask yourself, what does the community value more? The ego of masculine beings or the well-being of feminine beings? Ask yourself that question.
Now, before we go, I didn't even want to stop it this fast. Before we go, majority, like 9, if you was to count everybody, about 90+% of men said that they would not sit back and do anything. Only like, you only have seen like maybe a handful, like 2 or 3, less than 5 people have made videos saying that, hey, you know, I wouldn't have done nothing. And then the rest are a bunch of trolls who happen to be tethers. Let's just be honest, because if you look in their backgrounds, the people who are making memes and the people who are making jokes are tethers, keeping it real. But majority of people, especially FBA, are not saying that they would sit back and do nothing. So let's just be real with that.
About behavior, but once again, she's not as innocent as she portrays herself to be. I literally, like, I remember a while back, she's posting videos going around in public, literally smacking old white people in the face. For what? And now you get hit by a brick, and now you want to cry wolf, and I don't care. You wanted trouble, you got trouble. That's why I'll still buy and watch. So don't, oh man, that whole situation got me upset.
So now y'all gonna sit here and tell me that you're going to ignore today is September 5th. The Montgomery Brawl happened August 5th. We discussed and celebrated the camaraderie and unity for individuals being able to put themselves in the way of harm for their fellow brethren. And now we see the same individuals that was selling chair t-shirts and talking about Aquaman is now copping the plea and being very inconsistent when it comes to watching somebody that looks like you being done a particular way by people that look like you. You feel me? To me, it's always pathological when we try to
Now, before we let me just pause it real quick. Let me pause it real quick, right? Let's be very honest. There is a legitimate grievance women have. That's why I want to have that space. There are men who do get violent. There are men who do become aggressive when they are rejected. I have never, not in this video, this live, or in my Twitter space, denied that. And I'm not denying that now. There has been that. You know what I'm saying? They ask, they get told no, even if it's a polite no. Then they kind of ask again and they get pushy and they get mad. Okay, that does happen. Are most men like that? No. A handful of men are like that. We're going to be honest with that. But the thing is, he's all like, oh, the same people who are celebrating this are inconsistent when it comes to black women. That's the narrative that they're going around. The narrative that they're going around is the people who are celebrating women being, black unity are not celebrating this. Most of the people who are commenting on this are saying something should have been done for that woman. Just like most men who get rejected do not become violent. People don't understand, because the conversation goes around, well, men need to be taught to learn to take rejection. Men get rejected all of the time. Do you know how much violence it would be if men became violent every time they got it rejected? Because men get rejected on the daily basis. Millions of men get rejected all of the time. A lot of their advances. Only really a handful turn violent, which should not be. That shouldn't be at all. But let's be honest. Let's not act like this is just the norm where a man gets rejected. You're like, where's the closest brick? Hold on. That's not what happens. Okay, but let's keep it going.
Think about protecting women, and then we don't say what we don't say what we're protecting women from. You feel me? To me, it's very disingenuous when we talk about, well, this woman was hitting white people and she got what she deserved. What?
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a fuck. Yeah, this man hit me, fucking grabbed a rock, and it hit me in my fucking face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just fucking watch. Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face? Man, fuck all y'all niggas. Have I ever done?
No. I'm gonna be very, very honest. Okay, that was a tragedy, and that should not have happened, because she could have. You pick up a brick, a rock, even a stick, or anything like that, and you hit somebody in the head, in the side of the head hard enough, you could kill that person. You can easily kill somebody by hitting them one single time in the head with a brick. You can kill it very, very easily. So that is complete. I don't care if she said no, get away from me, you're a creep, you're not my type, you would never be able to touch. If she degraded this man to the most degrading degree possible, that does not justify him picking that brick up and hitting her in the head, okay, at all. And I'm not saying that. Now, one thing I will say and point out, that most people, and I've seen a lot of different videos, most people have not pointed out, is that when she panned the camera around and you saw the camera, you saw there were women there. And everything is on the, why didn't men do anything? Men should have at least confronted her. Men should have at least said something on her behalf. And I'm like, okay, well, we can have that conversation too, but let's not act like there were no women around. The women were not doing anything at all before. Now, even if you want to say, a woman's not going to put herself in danger. Okay. But even after the fact, you didn't see any women like, oh my God, girl, are you okay? Let me help you. And the girls didn't stick together either. And her friends were not there. So I'm saying this because this adds a needed amount of context to the story. If nobody is around, you can't say black men didn't do anything. And the women, because mind you, not a single video has been about what the women should have done to help her. None. Nobody's talking about what the women should have done to help her. And there were women there. But everybody's talking about what the men should have done, despite the fact that women are there. That's the whole conversation, is what the men should have done. And I get, if men are supposed to be the leaders, protectors, providers, then you're going to put the focus on the men. But you're not going to say men are not the, why didn't men do anything? Men are not the leaders. Men are not this, men are not that. Women got to protect each other. Women, because there's a whole bunch of people like, oh, it's all girls. We got to protect ourselves. We got to protect ourselves. But in that situation, women didn't do anything. Women, I'm going to be honest. I love women. I really, really do. But I know who women are. I know women. I know men. Men have flaws. Women have flaws. Women are not going to put their safety on the line for anybody that they do not know. Maybe if it's a child, but besides that, they're not going to do that. You cannot expect them to do that. They're not going to rush and put themselves in danger. That's just not how women think. This is why you're not hearing a single woman saying she would have stepped in. You don't see that happening. You don't see that. And that's fine. That's fine. Nobody's faulting the women for that. But if we're going to say, okay, well, look at the men and they're not doing anything, and this is why black women are all protected, or black women got to stick together, we can also have the same conversation of, well, black women clearly don't have each other's back, like y'all little sister girls be trying to say in your echo chambers, because in situations where black girls need to have each other's back, you don't have it. So this is why we have to have a mature conversation and look at all of the context. All right. Now, let's continue.
To anybody in my life to deserve this. I never did anything.
Do y'all know there's full-grown men, full-grown, able-bodied cis men that claim to be real ones that are literally trying to justify what happened to this woman because, hey, we gonna use the logic of her. How dare she talk on black men's protection? So because she had the audacity to try to critique black men protection, us as black men, we should protect her at all. These are same.
Okay. And this is where I stop it, because it wasn't she had the audacity to critique black men. Most of the response he's talking about is by people pulling up videos that she made, saying black men, or men, because she talking about black men don't protect and provide. Women are she's made a TikTok saying men aren't protectors and providers, women are protectors and providers. That's what she's saying. She said, we don't need men. See, this is the conversation that we need to have. We need to have this conversation, because what he's doing is being disingenuous. She's not critiquing black men. She's saying, you know what? Women are protectors and providers. Women are protectors and providers. But when she's in danger, she does not look to women. When women are in danger, they don't look for another woman to come and save the day at all. When women are in danger, notice the only people somebody hit her in the head with a brick, and the people she was mad at are men. She was not mad at women for not doing anything. Women do not have the expectation of other women to jump in and help them in a dangerous situation, but they instinctively do have that of men. So for the people let's be honest with what she had said. Because she said, hey, women protect and provide. That's why it's smart not to play that little game. Because a lot of people play that game, and I'm not victim blaming. I'm not. But a lot of people play that game of, I don't need a man. We're not in we're not in the past anymore. I can call the police. I don't need a man for anything. I just want women. There are some, not all, especially black women, because we're not going to paint all black women with one brush. I never do. But there are some who are all like, I don't need a man at all. I just want you. Okay. But then when some danger pops off, they act like, okay, where's the men? It just don't work that way. All right. And we're going to continue, because there's still some more we got to talk about.
Same individuals now that talk about being able to be down for the community. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about these are same individuals that are literally say for your homeboy, hey, right or wrong, true or false, I'm riding with you, and if you're wrong, we're going to handle it in the car. We see there's a different type of politic when it comes to being able to protect black women. And I think that's just crazy. And then listen, let's go past the protection, right? So let's say you feel like, man, I'm not going to put myself in harm's way because I don't know what I got going on. I don't know you or him. So whatever. Nobody even checked on her general welfare. Nobody asked her, "Are you okay?" They stood around and watched.
And so did women. So did women. Because, and my thing is, and not my, I don't like to do the, well, women did it too. Women did it too. I I don't like to do that. But my thing is this, is that if y'all want to turn this into a black male thing, a gender thing, when men and women both did the same thing, y'all want to completely ignore the women who are there, but y'all want to hang all the men. It just don't work that way.
What I know is that when I was reading Dr. George Yancey, reading about whiteness, he always talked about the spectator at the lynching, and how the spectator at the lynching was just as guilty as the person that was tying the black person on the tree, because they was doing nothing. So,
bro, Lee, Mr. Conscious Lee, I'm gonna be honest, as tragic as the situation was, as much as she could have lost her life, you cannot compare these dudes who are sitting around not doing anything to white people at a lynching. You cannot compare the two. This woman did not have a noose tied around her neck and hung from a tree. You cannot in good faith genuinely compare that. You can't do that.
So for instance, you see what I'm saying? I got a lot of homeboys as well that's locked up for being accessories to crimes, because the judge said that because they were in proximity to the crime that was being happened and they did nothing to stop it, they were seen as an accessory to the crime.
But that's not the way it should work, though. And we understand that black men get railroaded sometimes. We do understand that, but it should not work that way. You don't become an accessory to the crime because you were around when the crime was committed. If somebody robbed a bank, you're not going to go to jail because they robbed a bank and you happen to be there. That's not how it works. You're an accessory if you enable the person in some way before or after. That's the way accessories work. So you can't say these people are an accessory to the violence that happened that night because they didn't do anything to stop it. That's not the way that works. And this is my problem. I can understand where the women are coming from. I can understand where the argument is coming from as far as the men should have done something. If the men even yelled like, "Hey man, hey, put the brick down. Hey, stop that." If the men, and I would say the men should have done that. Let's kind of be here with it. I would say if it was me and my people and my brothers, and we were all there, and we saw this dude with a brick in his hand, and he all in a woman's face, even saying something, I'm gonna be honest, even saying something to be all like, "Hey, there's a group of niggas around here," you know what I'm saying? They telling me put the brick down. They're like, hey, put the brick down. And he might just be like, you know what, this ain't even worth it, because he don't know what we got. Because some people like, he could have had a gun. He could have, but he don't know if we got one. So even the men saying something could have stopped that. Or even after the fact, somebody could have got his license plate. Something could have happened. And this is why I say something should have happened. And most black men are saying something should have happened. Most black men are not saying nothing should have been done. That is not what most black men are saying. Let's be honest. Okay. That's just not true. He said something else, and I almost forgot that. So let's be honest. But the thing is, I can understand. I can completely understand where women are saying, because there are women who go around, a man tell them, "Hey, can I get your number? Can I take you out?" She's like, "No, I'm not interested." And he getting pushy, and she make him feel uncomfortable. There are women who have fake numbers, and they literally give fake numbers out. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. So there's a real conversation, and that's not right. And there's a real conversation that can be had with that. I'm not sitting up there saying, no, women are wrong, women are wrong, women are wrong. I'm not saying that. But I'm being very mature and unbiased about this. Conscious Lee is not being that way. For him, the analogies and comparisons he's making are a stretch, to say the very least. Comparing this to white folks watching black people being lynched. What in the hell? That is a very, very wild stretch to make. Saying, oh, there should be accessories. You're not an accessory unless you did something to participate in a crime. The men who sat back and watched, they're not going to go to jail for sitting back and watch, even if they shouldn't have, and we can have a conversation that they shouldn't have, but they wouldn't be accessories. The comparisons that he's making is completely false and disingenuous. That's the problem with this. And that's the problem with a lot of people's different takes.
You feel what I'm saying? What I recognize is when you see this woman's face, you can acknowledge
My life
that
turned.
the bruise on her face could have caused way more damage than what it did. You feel me? When a group of white men is beating on a black man, the context that all came out afterwards exactly was that. It came out afterwards. Look at the acrobatic, athletic, track star stretches that people are making to justify what happened to this black woman. Just look at it.
Anybody, literally a man asked me for my number. I said no, and he picked up a brick in front of so many men and was like, what you gonna do? And I told all these men, like, yo, why this man got a brick on my face? And he's holding a brick, and all these niggas is watching, and nobody does nothing. And he hits me in my face, and then they're all just watching. And they let that nigga get in a car. How is this okay? This is what y'all doing to women?
Yes, she did get hit by a brick. Yes, I saw it. Yes, I was standing by doing nothing. And if that shit happened again in the same circumstances, I will watch. Because she's not as innocent as she portrays herself to be. She was taunting the guy. She was calling.
It just amazes me that they're
Now, before we go, hold on, before he goes on his thing, a lot of people are saying with that video, she was kind of extra. She was overselling it. I'm gonna say this from my personal experience after being Afro Lead for 3+ years. Okay. I'm gonna be very honest with you. A lot of people who make reaction videos about them being hurt and then they oversell it, most of the time they got some stuff they're trying to hide. When they overly victimize themselves, because you don't really have to do too much. Your head is swollen. You can clearly tell you were hit, you were assaulted. But a lot of times when people put like a little bit extra with it, that's to cover something up. I don't know what she's covering up, but a lot of people feel that way too. So a lot of people are like, okay, all right, because the whole I would never do anything. I would always defend you. I can't believe this would happen. She's made other videos where she's all like, why do everybody want to hurt me? Why does everybody want to do this to me? What have I ever done? Like yeah, ma'am, we see you got hit, but you overselling it, which leads us to believe you're doing that are you overselling it for some type of cash app or clout? Are you overselling it to hide something? So that's what makes people who initially, and maybe still do, feel some form of sympathy, then kind of like, what? I don't know. Okay, so what really happened all the way, start from the top again? That's what make people do that. That's why people are asking, okay, where's the police report? Okay, there's no police report, and no credible news source has cited this. Okay, did you get this guy was in your face? Do you have a description? Because the guy should be wanted, right? You should have told the police so they can catch the guy. There's no police report of the situation. You didn't say a description of the guy. You didn't say what kind of car the guy drove off in or whatever the case is. So like, because he didn't knock you out clearly because you were, making that video. So that's why people are kind of like, you getting hit was wrong, but what else happened? That's kind of why people are like that. All right, but let's hear what he has to say.
Old models and critiques about harsh and unusual punishment. There are the same men that beat their chest and talk about the innate strength they have over women. You feel me? Talk about how a trans woman shouldn't be able to do X, Y, and Z because men are so much stronger than women. These are.
Is that not true? Is that not true? Trans women, look at the agenda he's trying to push. Consciously is a very, very progressive like one of those anti-black liberal women and men. They just a spectrum, and women can be men and why did you these people say that trans women are men? Okay, all right, so that's not true. Do trans women not have a physical advantage over biological women? Like, listen to the agendas he's trying to slip in by using this.
Are the same men that are now justifying a woman being hit with a brick by other men. Just look at the inconsistencies of this right here. You see what I'm saying? Hey, peep game. That
we can look at, and we can, and we should. We can look at the inconsistencies of men saying we want to be protectors and providers and then not being protectors and providers. That is an inconsistency. And we can and should critique that, change that, and we can look at that and everything. We should also look at the inconsistencies of the people who are like, we want a world where everything is gender fluid and there are no gender roles. We want to dismantle any and all gender roles. Men and women are just different spectrums of human beings, and a woman can be a man and a man can be a woman, and there is no difference. Men shouldn't play with trucks and stuff like that. Men can get their fingernails painted, and that's fine. Women can play with WWE wrestler stuff, and that's fine. Y'all want a gender fluid world where everybody's gender blind. But then when men don't take the fingernail paint off their nails and come running to the rescue, now y'all want something. We can point to the inconsistencies of you're going to have gender roles or you're not going to have them. You can't say, I don't want to have gender roles that I got to do. I don't want to have those gender roles. We should dismantle those. The men's gender roles, we should keep those. It don't work that way. You can't advocate, well, a man, what's wrong with a man wearing a dress? Because consciously he advocates for that, which, okay, if that's his get down, all right. What's wrong with a man wearing a dress? What's wrong with a man having pink hair? What's wrong with a man having fingernail polish on? Oh, all right, cool. You expect, listen, I'm going to be honest. This is why men don't be wearing dresses. And this is why women don't like men who wear dresses. Because when danger pops off, y'all heard this from me. Listen, very, very, very clear. When danger pops off, nobody expects the person in the dress to jump in front of the danger. That's why women don't expect women to do that. People don't expect the ones who are in dresses to protect other people. Unless you're their child and that's your mom and you expect your mom to protect you. That's it. You do not have any expectations of people in dresses coming to save the day. You don't. So all this toxic masculinity and men need to be soft. And why do men want to fight? Why do men want to get violent? Okay, fine. But then when something happen and y'all don't have a black man, y'all like, where's the men at? Black men ain't doing nothing. It don't work that way. Now, let's continue.
The fact that somebody was able to convince our community that we should be more worried about the symbolic perceived threats in our community than the actual material bodily harm ones, to me, it really behooves me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't recognize how you say you against simping and this not seen as simping. There are grown men now arguing with other women on the internet about why they should be scary and not have to put themselves in harm's way because they scared the man and hit them with a brick too. See what I'm saying? Like that really blows my mind. And then this man right here, double down. Double down.
Him all type of names. She was degrading him to a point where he resulted in picking up a brick and hitting him. I don't.
Being degraded by a woman equals, and this is the end too, to be clear. This person say that was there. So you're gonna see, especially to what I know that the manosphere side of Facebook and manosphere side of YouTube is eating this up. You feel me? I done seen a couple main live streams. I even seen one video said Brick Lady exposed. Exposed for what? This man just said it right there for himself. So insulting someone with words equals you being able to be hit with a brick. And then the idea of this perfect victim that y'all keep on saying, like, hey, in order for me to protect a woman, man, she gotta be perfect. You feel me? She can't have nothing, no blemishes. She can't say nothing, anything. This, that. It's like y'all really be acting like white supremacists. You feel me? The fact that y'all then went back and digged out these videos showed me that a lot of y'all are lost in the sauce of white supremacist tactics. That you get mad when black men or black folks uniquely get deployed against them. You deploy it against other people in the community. It's baffling.
Now, this is what I say when I say stuff like this is disingenuous. This is disingenuous, okay? Because when white supremacists do that, they're doing that to justify the actual death of a black person. Fortunately, nobody died in this situation. So he's comparing black men, even the ones who are being scary, even the ones who are saying, you know what, they don't want to do anything, even those, he's comparing them to he's literally comparing them to white supremacists, okay? Or at least saying that they're deploying white supremacist tactics, okay? Like I'm saying, he's being very one-sided and one-dimensional and very disingenuous.
About behavior, but once again, she's not as innocent as she portrays herself to be. I literally, like, I remember a while back, she's posting videos going around in public, literally smacking old white people in the face. Literally, like, I remember, and now you get hit by a brick, you want to cry wolf, and I don't care. You want in trouble, you got trouble. That's why I'll still buy and watch. So don't, oh man, that whole situation got me upset.
He's upset that she was hit by a brick, and people are asking him why he ain't do nothing.
You ever fuck with Brianna ever again?
A few moments later.
What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this?
Just do y'all see the tactics that are being deployed here? When a black body is brutalized by a particular authority or enforcement, we recognize that when you start trying to go through the archive and dig what a person did 10 months ago, 5 months ago, that does not justify what happened to them. You know, in the same way, we see individuals are now deploying them same tactics to justify bodily harm to a black woman. Think about it. So at what level? No. At what part of the symptom analysis does the autonomy of women get brought into it? When we talking about misandry and talking about how there is oppression against men, is that oppression against men? We create an impact calculus. We do a comparative analysis based off of, impacts. Do you think that the isolated individual times of, men individually being, women individually being oppressive or violent towards men outweigh the institutions and instances like this towards women? Because to me, I feel like that's when we start really being able to have a real discussion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that it's a lot of cap in people's rap, but we keep on going.
It's literally the fact of how I knew you motherfuckers was gonna sit here and try to justify this shit. Y'all damn near use half of y'all work day to try to investigate some shit just for it to not even be true. Let's get into it. So as we all know, earlier today, people have been talking about the situation.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip forward a little bit because all she does is she kind of debunks the narrative that the video of her slapping a white guy and walking off twerking was the same night she got hit. So she debunks that by, talking about the jewelry she was wearing, the clothes she was wearing, the purse and all that stuff. So she debunks that or whatever. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit past that, because that goes on for an unnecessary amount of time. And that the videos of her hitting white men were skits, because we all know that. So I'm going to fast forward past that because we got some more stuff to play, y'all.
the hood. That is a class and race analysis. You see what I'm saying? So right now, we're about to sprinkle a little bit of intersectionality in this whole conversation about protecting women. Because what I know is that when I'm on my Facebook or my YouTube or my TikTok, there's always individuals talking about how I should be talking about what's going on in the Black community and stop talking about the gay stuff and stop this, that, and the other. So let's get into it.
In a lot of communities, and a lot of homes, and a lot of preachers, a lot of churches, a lot of ministers, you teach your sons to not be gay. You teach your sons to not live a homosexual lifestyle, but you're missing the biggest teaching that you need to be teaching a lot of your sons is how to accept rejection from women. It's no reason why so many women are getting murdered, getting beat upside their head, getting robbed, getting hopped on, getting pushed off a cliff, people running in female cars, people running in female homes because niggas can't accept rejection. Because a lot of these small dick niggas out here who really don't have anything going on, who really wasn't taught how to be a man, who really wasn't taught how to hold a job, who really wasn't taught how to carry himself, who really wasn't taught how to treat a woman, who really wasn't taught how to respect a woman, but he was just taught on how to fuck women, and that is good enough to be a man as long as you're not gay. They was not taught to deal with rejection. If a woman tell your ass no, it's motherfucking no, maybe you ain't man enough for her. And I understand a lot of your sons out here, they are big rejects, but you need to start teaching your sons how to be real men. You need to start teaching your sons how to accept if a woman say no, it's no. You need to start teaching your sons how to accept if a woman don't want to give him her number.
I'm gonna get back to letting this man cook. But before I let him get back into cooking, just really
okay. You know what? Okay. I'm gonna try to fast forward a little bit. But before I do that, because there's some super chats that I want to get to. Shout out to, let's see, my laptop this way. Shout out to the fundraiser for the $5 super chat. Says, I've seen plenty of Black men help and defend Black women. That happens all the time. Even to the point where they end up in prison or dead for it. That happens all the time. That happens all of the time. And people, and in the space, thank you very much for that. And thank you very much for your super chat. And in the space, people bought that up. Like, okay, well, there's situations where men jump out the window to defend a woman that they don't know, and then they wind up getting hurt, and then nothing happens. Because the thing is that there's a lot of and a lot of those situations are domestic violence. Okay, that's never cool. But the thing is that a lot of those situations are you don't know what's going on, and you jump in, and something happens to you. People are not going to hit your Cash App up. Nobody's going to do anything. So that you are being very disingenuous by saying men should just put themselves on the line in danger, and whatever the consequences are, it doesn't matter. You're a man, you sacrifice. You sacrifice. But at the same time, trying to breed a society of women who are just naturally rebellious against men. Naturally rebel against men. You can't have it both ways. Okay, and another thing is, and I'm not saying you can't have it both ways, because I believe that that's just the way the world works. I'm just saying how the world works. Okay. Then we have another one from Blacklight Andrew. Thank you, Blacklight Andrew, for the $5 super chat. He says, Conscious Lee sounds like he wants to be the next Michael Eric Dyson. Yeah, he's kind of working his way up in the liberal stuff. I will give him this. His vocabulary is very advanced. I will give him that, you know. But he just really spews a whole lot of the liberal talking points, to be honest. Besides his vocabulary, which I'll give him, he really don't be saying much, to be honest. Another one, the fundraiser. I've seen plenty of gay. Let's be honest. It says, I've seen plenty of gay Black men fighting women and disrespecting them. If we are going to have that discussion, let's call it all out. Let's be honest. Thank you. Let's be honest. And I was just about to say that. He thought what I was thinking. There's you talk about straight men attacking women. Yeah, there's more straight men in the world than gay men. Let's be real. There's a lot. If you want to talk about proportion, there's a bigger proportion, because the gay black male population is smaller. There's a big proportion of gay black men fighting biological women, normal women. Okay, nobody talks about that. So let's not say, oh yeah, the queers. Oh, hold on. Why do y'all keep ignoring if this is about protecting women? Why do y'all keep ignoring the violence that gay black men do to women? Because it's not like if you're homosexual, you don't have the strength of a man. That's not the case. So why is that being ignored all the time? Then we have another one, the $49.99 super chat from YGLTB1. Thank you very much, brother. It says, aggression is a trait of toxic masculinity, right? No, that was a question. A man would never be aggressive to protect her. That's a good point. What if the men didn't want to be accused of being toxic? Don't ask men to turn their manhood on and off at your leisure. Thank you. The good point. And it don't work that way. That's what I'm saying. It don't work that way. The same people who are like, we want to dismantle gender roles. He's all like, oh, y'all teach men not to be gay. Okay. If y'all want men with sitting up there broken wrists, walking around with fingernails painted and eyelashes, okay. Y'all want people to do that. Notice, ain't nobody taking their eyelashes and long ass earrings off to come and save anybody. Okay. Those are the people who stay away from danger. So y'all want a bunch of feminine women, because this is the content that y'all try to talk about. Y'all want a bunch of feminine men to be around in the world, and then almost like the Incredible Hulk, because Bruce Banner is this kind of scrawny, nerdy guy or whatever the case is, and then when he gets angry, he turns into this big, strong, Incredible Hulk. It don't work that way, where men are all feminine and soft, but when danger pops on, a switch flicks on in the back of their mind, and they just get this super strength, and they just start charging into danger. Men don't work that way. Women don't work that way. It don't work. Okay, so you should probably say in this situation, because you're not talking about what the women could have done or what the women should have done who are there. You're talking about the men. So maybe you should rethink about the whole, you know what? I don't think that men and women can do everything the same. Maybe they can't, because there's certain things that we only look for men for. You only look for men to jump into danger to protect somebody. You only look for men for that. So maybe we shouldn't be preaching that men and women are exactly the same. Let's continue.
Think about all the times we were taught that we should be more concerned about a man carrying a purse than we should be about a man doing something to a woman.
What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Who says we should be more concerned with men holding purses than men doing stuff to women? Who says that? This man is sitting up there making it seem like men say, hey, women get abused, and that don't really matter. Well, we don't care. Who is saying that? That's a bigger issue?
Think about all the various ways that we be more concerned about what 4% of the population is doing and talking about the term system we are when it comes to men hitting women with bricks, when it comes to Congress passing laws and legislation. This is what I recognize, is that the individuals that have the ability to control what we induce in the classroom, conduce what we consume in the classroom, what we conduce on social media, they have the ability to curate a particular narrative. And what I know that has been masterful in being able to convince certain individuals that you should be more worried about drag queens than you are men with bricks. You should be concerned more with trans women talking about cisgender than you should be with men actually doing material things to women. You feel me?
Oh, okay. Well, if it's cisgender, okay. Well, if you want it to be a thing where cisgender, there was no. Let's be honest with it though. Why do if that's the thing, you want cisgenders to have a gender role? See, the same thing he's talking about is inconsistent when you look at the context of the fact that, okay, but you wanted men to do that. You say, oh, we shouldn't be worried about the cisgender this. Okay, y'all be saying a woman putting on shaving her head and getting a buzz cut makes her a man if she says she's a man. men and women, that's just a title, and it's gender fluid. All this gender fluidity stuff that he's preaching right in this very video, they're not talking about in that situation. Because when danger pops off, whether it's by another man, natural disaster, whether it's by anything at all, nobody is talking about gender fluidity. When war breaks out and people are drafted to the war or invaders are coming in, nobody's talking about gender fluidity. You can't be sitting up there preaching gender fluidity. Well, you're a man because you identify from that as birth because the doctor said you're a man, but you're really a girl if you want to be a girl. You want to preach that, and then when danger pops off, and then ain't you a man? Ain't you a man? Don't you have a man role? You can't do that. That don't work.
I mean, somebody really convinced, that we should be worried about trans women and drag women trying to erase the identity of women. If a man is rejected by a woman and that man jumps to go into violence, is that not an erasure? If we can acknowledge that,
brother, consciously, let's be honest. The situation like this, where a woman got hit in the head with a brick, it's not like women go viral every other day because they was hit with a brick. Okay, you conflating two completely certain different things. Why are we worried about this when we should be worried about this? What? Those things, they don't match. And to be honest, when somebody dissects it, it makes your argument look bad.
Throughout our country, there are multiple women throughout different communities that normalize. If a man asks me for my number, I'm just going to give it to him because I don't want to deal with him being upset that I didn't give it to him. If you go to any one of my comment sections, you'll be able to look in that comment section and view different women talking about the tactics and strategies they've incorporated to their everyday way of living because they are scared and terrified of being hit with a brick, being shot, being slapped, being pushed. You feel me? So again, think about it. When this gay man right here, his name Big Sexy, when he's literally telling y'all, hey, you
but you're teaching yourself how to be gay. That's the biggest lesson in life that you're teaching yourself. But let me tell you something, baby. We not out here knocking these women upside their heads and stealing their pocketbooks and stealing their jewelry and raping them and killing them and beating on them. It's your straight son. Because what you did was you missed over your son because you were so focused on your daughter being at home. You missed over your son because you were so focused on him not being gay, him not carrying pocketbooks, and him not doing certain things. Let me tell you this, bitch. I'm more man than a lot of your motherfucking sons out there. If I ever decide to stick my penis in your baby mama, bitch, I can raise you and the children.
Okay. And that's one of the things. Nobody's talking about the violence in the LG. This is something we do not ever have a conversation about. People don't talk about the violence in the LGBT community. Y'all don't talk about that violence whatsoever. Okay. Now, I was just about to bring this up, but I'm so very, very glad that it was brought up by you brothers. E3L2PRSW. I wonder what that means. He says, thank you for the $5 super chat, but he says exactly. Who's to say the people standing around even identify as cis male? Hey, come on. Let's be honest. What if they were trans or non-binary? Shows you this is all babble. Thank you very much. I was just about to say that. What if the men standing around, what if they don't conform to gender roles? What if, like you said, what if they were what if to them on the inside, based off of how they feel, they're not men? You can't have, this is why you can't have it, because the arguments are inconsistency. You want your principle is this and this, and your principle is this is what you preach, but in certain circumstances, your principle is something completely different, and you want something different. You say, okay, men are only men when they identify as men, but then when somebody's in danger, whether you identify as a man or not, you are a man and you better jump in. You can't have it both ways. You can't preach this whole non-binary, I don't identify with gender roles. Okay, it's cool, but when danger pops up, boy, get in that gender role. You can't do that. You can't do that, all right? And that's why these people are inconsistent with their talking points. Another $5 super chat from the fundraiser. He says, and thank you very much for $5 super chat. He says, the new Detroit era and what he does, you will see how much black men will protect black women. That's true. Also, if the man was gay, would this be talked about? I don't think so. Let me be honest. Let me be very, very honest. If the man who hit the woman with a brick was bisexual, if this man was not straight, I don't think it would have went as viral. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be very honest with you. Even if he was, let's say he was bi and he was still trying to flirt with her or whatever, but he had a boyfriend in a car and he hit her, I don't think the at least the talking points wouldn't have been the same. Because the narrative is out, oh, look at straight black men. But y'all, okay, well, if y'all want to keep that energy, let's keep that energy all the time. Because y'all don't have none of that energy with the non-straight black men who do anything. We're almost done with this because we got way more to talk about. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to wind up wrapping this up. So, guys, we got something else, right? I'm going to show you something. Now, this was from, a lot of people were saying, too, women, okay, yeah, you can be protected. You should be protected. A lot of you are owed that, but you have to put yourself in a situation where that can prosper. You have to put yourself in a situation that's best for you. Let's be honest. Nobody at all should be breaking into anybody's house under any circumstance. If it's not your house, you don't live there, you don't, even if you don't have anything there at all, you should not break into people's house regardless. Everybody teaches don't break into people's house. That's not something that people lack teaching of. Everybody teaches that. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows it's illegal. Everybody knows that's dangerous. But people still lock their doors. People still lock their windows. Why do people have to lock you? Why do people not preach? I shouldn't even have to lock my door. Nobody should be coming in. Yeah, nobody should be coming in. Everybody understands that. But there are some people in the world who, despite being taught the rules, are going to disobey the rules. Nobody should be breaking into people's car, but people's cars still have alarms and people's cars still have locks. Why? Nobody advocates, no, I shouldn't have to even lock my car. If a car is running, let's be honest, if a car is running, you at the gas station, people get their cars stolen at the gas station all the time. Okay, that's a big spot where people get their cars stolen. It's because a lot of time people don't like to shut their car off, so it makes it real easy for people to just hop in and run off. So you at the gas station, you don't shut your car off. Does that mean it's justified for somebody to steal your car? Absolutely it's not. Absolutely it is not. But if you at the gas station as a grown adult and you get out of your car and you go into the gas station and you leave your car on and somebody jumps in your car and drives off and people are like, I feel for you. I'm sorry you got your car stolen. That's real messed up. I hate that for you. But why did you leave your car running? It shouldn't matter. I shouldn't have to turn my car off. I shouldn't have to lock my doors. You shouldn't have to. Yeah, but you should. So when people are saying, and I'm giving you context for the next clip, when people are saying women should be more aware of their surroundings and women should be more prepared to defend themselves or women should be more aware of danger, that's not justifying danger happening to them. Just like saying lock your car door does not justify the person who stole your car. But we're saying we live in a world that is imperfect and people will do that. So it's best for you to take the precautions to make sure that does not happen. All right. So that's the context for this. Now, this came from Erica Lachey. Erica Lachey has been going super viral for this post right here. Okay, I want you to see this. This has almost gotten 10 million views. Okay, talk about going viral. This is a huge post right here. So let's listen to what she had to say, and then we're going to see some of the responses to it. Hold on, we gotta play it.
Let me first state the obvious. No man should put his hands on a woman. We desire protection, but sometimes what we don't understand is that true protection comes with a level of control. Bodyguards are a good example. A bodyguard will make their client leave from a dangerous place. The bodyguard has to know all the details: who, what, when, where, why, and how. And the client has to listen to the bodyguard and follow the instruction that the bodyguard gives them. It's really an agreement between all parties involved. When the person who needs protecting does not follow the instruction and the direction of the protector, it puts the protector in a situation where they're more likely to lose their life. I have 4 brothers and a father, and I listen to their instruction even when they're not around. They have told me to stay away from certain places if I'm by myself or if it's late at night. They've also advised me not to be drunk or high in certain situations. Even though my brothers, my dad, and the men in my life protect me, I in turn protect them by listening to them and following their instruction. They don't have to come to my defense in some wild scenario, because if I listened to them, I wouldn't have been there in the first place. And this is another thing I feel like is pertinent to say, and I know folks ain't gonna like this one. I don't have sons right now, but when I do have sons, I'm gonna teach them that there's a difference between diamonds and dirt and rubies and rocks. Rubies and diamonds are often in jewelry stores. They're in glass cases, they're secured, there's an alarm system, there's a lot of layers of protection because those things are valuable. But you could pull over to the side of the road and find some dirt and rocks. Expecting a man to risk his well-being, his future, and his life on someone who does not see value in themselves or the man is asinine. That's a very asinine thing to ask. All I'm saying is protection comes with a little bit of sacrifice. It comes with a little bit of control. And me personally, I feel that what I have to sacrifice and the amount of control I have to give up is 100% worth it to receive the protection that I've been getting my whole life.
Okay. I don't see where she was wrong with anything she said. I don't see any, the whole time, I can agree entirely with her stance on that. Okay. She did not justify anything that happened to that lady. She didn't. But she also said, okay, well, how we can do in response is we have to understand that you got to put yourself in a situation. You want men to be protectors. Men are not just your protectors when they're present. Men are your protectors when they're not present. And an aspect of protection is by understanding the environment and warning you from that. Warning people is a form of protection. Advising people is a form of protection. You can't say women should not have to listen to men's advice, and women should not have to listen to men's warning, but men are still responsible for protection. For instance, and I'm glad she used the bodyguard analogy. If a bodyguard is sitting up there saying, hey, I don't know, those crowd of people look funny, we're not going to go over there, or don't go down to the stage, it's too many people, and the rapper, artist, whatever, goes down to the stage, and now the bodyguard is in extra danger because the bodyguard was able to have the foresight. And this is what she's saying. A lot of men have the foresight to say, hey, lock your door. Hey, don't do this. Hey, don't. Men have the and women want men to do that. So it goes both ways. Now, let's check this out. Let's check this out. This was her thing. And then somebody up here gonna say, when I say pick-me's are dangerous, this is what I mean. Okay. How is Erica a pick-me? How was this her being a pick-me? By saying she don't hate all black men and women should listen? Women should listen for their own safety, not for men, but for their own safety. Women should listen. Makes her a pick-me. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all be saying anybody who don't have no underlying hate for black men are pick-me's. Y'all be just throwing that word pick-me around all the time. How, in what part does this make a pick-me? And then she looks right here. Okay, hold on. She says none of what she's saying is valid. Really? None of what she said was valid. Okay, none. Doubles. It's a bunch of victim blaming. Did Erica victim blame? Erica wasn't even necessarily talking about that situation. She was just talking about protection in general and using that situation as the cover or the foundation for her to talk about women in protection in general, because that's really what the community is talking about. Not even that situation. The community is really talking about men protecting women in general. That's what the debate and the argument's about. But she's a pick me and victim blaming. Okay. Then she says, well, if she wasn't wearing that nonsense, some women deserve protection because they listen. Some women deserve protection because they listen. Some are rocks. BS. Women can get attacked literally anywhere on any day, no matter how much we quote listen, because men are violent. Okay. Listen, this is you being deliberate. She's being deliberately hard-headed. Okay. This is, I'm gonna be honest, hard-headed. Let's be honest. Let's be very honest. If a fight, bro, if somebody started shooting up a building and you had Erica Lachey in the building and then you had her, this lady in the building, or if let's not even say shooting, let's say a fire broke out and there's a bunch of people in the fire, I'm gonna be honest, there's gonna be a lot of people who's gonna check on Erica before they check on this other girl. Before what is her name? Really? Gorgo's baby mama. Wow, really? Okay. Before they check on Gorgo's baby mama, I'm guaranteeing you they're gonna make sure Erica is very much so safe. Yes. Situations happen. Even if women don't listen to men, women can still wind up in a danger. Nobody's saying listening to men is going to protect you from everything. Nobody said locking your car door is going to save your car from getting broke into. Only when it comes to listening to black men do people say, well, something can still happen, though. Something can still happen, though. Okay. All right. People say, don't leave the gas on. Make sure you turn your stove off. My house could still blow up. Why are you saying that? Lock your doors before you go to sleep. Somebody can still break in. Nobody makes those whataboutism arguments, except when it comes to listening to men. Only when it comes to listening to men, I can still get shot, though. Okay, well, don't listen to them then. Somebody can still break into my car. Don't lock your car then. Fine. Just do whatever. If it can still happen, then just do whatever. Somebody can say, oh, eat healthy. Eat healthy and exercise, but I can still get sick. Oh, fine. Don't eat healthy and don't exercise. Nobody makes those arguments when it comes to anything else except listening to black men. That's the only time they make those arguments. I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to show y'all something else. Okay. Hold on. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in so y'all can see it. This woman, female private parts and waffles, who makes, as you can see here, adult content. I'm not going to click that page, but she makes adult content. Oh, okay. All right. Says she got the support system to feel that way. She got the support. Let me zoom in a little bit. Actually, let me click it so it can be bigger. She got the support system to feel that way. But I don't think all women got brothers and dads that are going to just jump and defend you every day. Some people don't live with their families or near a man, so don't know some females got to defend themselves. And okay. I'm gonna be very, very, very honest with you. Most black women got some form of defense system. Most, and it doesn't have to be their dad. It don't have to be their man. It don't have to be their brothers. Most of them, if they just cool with some friends, Most of the black women who got black men who are just friends ain't gonna let nothing happen to them. You can just be cool with a coworker, and if he see you getting jumped, he gonna jump in, just because he don't want to see nothing happen to you. So let's not make it seem like most black women out here defenseless, because that's not the case. Most black women, and I said it in my space, and I say it again, most black women, I'm gonna say a solid majority of black women know more than one black man personally, who, if something popped off, they would scold to protect them. Most black women do. So let's not act like, well, yeah, maybe you, because you got your brothers and your dad, but most black women don't. No, maybe you're putting yourself in that situation because you do a whole bunch of degenerate adult content, and nobody's hating on people who do adult content. I don't want to get a strike for bullying, but okay. But maybe you don't put yourself in that environment. Maybe Erica does. Okay. Maybe. But you see the disingenuous women got to defend themselves. Okay. Nobody's saying women shouldn't defend themselves. Who said that? And then look, another one. Yeah, I don't want to even click his page. I don't know what he got on his thing. But you can see right here the man got a little sass to him. Yeah, okay. You got your nude skins. Okay. All right. With a bite lip thing. So you see the people who are really coming at her. I just want you to peep out. Peep the kind of category of people who are saying something against what she had to say. Quote, "It's really an agreed between all parties involved / control. They love contradicting themselves. Also, I would argue that bodyguards don't have any control." That's not true. Clearly, you've not been a bodyguard. I've, to a degree, been bodyguard. I've been a bodyguard on multiple occasions. You do have control. You do have that. If they tell you to a degree, hey, don't do that, don't go there, you're supposed to listen to your bodyguard. Okay? It's their job to act in response to situations, not dictate their client where their client should be. It's not their job to dictate. But the thing is, she didn't say it's the bodyguard's job and you should listen. But what she's saying is, if you want somebody to protect you, that person also has to advise you. You can't say, I'm going to completely disobey my protector's advice, but I still feel 100% entitled to their protection. It doesn't work that way. Okay? Your parents protect you when your parents aren't there. I'm going to tell you how your parents protect you when your parents aren't there. When your parents tell you, look both ways before crossing the street, that's a form of protection. That's a form of your parents protecting you, because your parents know that people sometimes don't pay attention when they're driving. And you might just run across the street and not see a car coming and they might hit you. Your parents say that to protect you, for you not being around. So if you're going to say, I shouldn't have to listen to anything my parents say, but if a car comes, my parents should jump in front of the car so I don't get hit. No. A form of you expecting protection is the fact that you do have to understand you got to listen to your protector. If somebody's saying, hey, the block is kind of hot right now, let's stay in the house, there's a lot of stuff going on, and you say, man, I'm going outside, I don't know what you're talking about, and then something pop off, you call it, hey, I need you to come. Well, yeah, I just told you it was a street beef going on, and now you stuck hiding behind a car because bullets is flying, and you want me to come and save the day like I'm Superman. Me telling you to stay in the house is a form of protection, just like the parents telling you to look both ways across the streets is a form of protection. Is it a form of control? You can say that. You can say that. You can't have it both ways, though. You can't. You can't say, if my bodyguard tells me not to jump in the crowd, I'm going to jump in the crowd anyway. And if I jump in the crowd, you still better protect me. I'm going to still hold you just as accountable for protection as I did if I was obeying you. You can't fairly do that. A parent's responsibility is to make sure that one, of their responsibilities is to make sure their child is safe from the harms of the world. A part of making sure your child is safe from one of the harms of the world is to put child in environments where they are safe. Okay, that's why parents have cribs, and the cribs are really tall so the babies don't fall out the crib. Okay, another part of that is by advising the child. Not only do you put the car seat on the child, because that's your job of making sure the child is safe. You make sure the child is strapped in. Okay, you make sure you're driving safe when your kid is in the car. That's a form of protecting your child. Another form of protecting your child is say, hey, don't touch the stove. Don't play with knives. That's a form of protection. If your kid is like, you know what, my parents' responsibility is to make sure I'm not physically harmed, but I'm gonna run around with a pair of scissors, even though they told me not to. You're making the job impossible for your parents to protect you. If your parents say, don't play with the stove or you're going to get burned, that's because it's their responsibility to make sure you don't get burned. But if you're playing with the stove and you get burned, you can't get mad at your parent when they told you to stop playing with the stove. You know what I'm saying? It's a give and a take. Y'all just want men to just jump out the window and rebel against them. It don't work that way. I'm gonna show you something else. It was another video, because we got stuff to talk about. We got a lot. All right. So this woman made a response to Erica, and lo and behold, the person who posted this response was none other than your boy, Conscious Lee. Conscious Lee was the one who posted this response. Okay, and we already saw what type of page Conscious Lee is on.
Rubies and diamonds are often in jewelry stores. They're in glass cases. They're secure.
That video was a part of the ongoing discussion about the woman that was hit in the head with a brick. In the video, the creator says that women must be okay with giving up control in order to receive protection. She uses the analogy of diamonds and rubies that are locked away in a glass shelf and protected versus the rocks and dirt that you see on the ground. Here's the problem with that analogy. If we're to take that analogy at face value, rubies and diamonds are inanimate objects that are violently plucked out of the ground and then put behind glass shelves for commercial commodification. So in the analogy, women must become inanimate objects in order to receive protection. These inanimate objects exist for the sole purpose of other people's consumption. This is essentially the objectification of women. Thus, the so-called giving up of control in exchange for protection is not really consensual, and it's not really protection. It's simply objectification, which leads back to the core issue at hand, the dehumanization of women, in this case specifically Black women. It doesn't matter that the diamonds and rubies are behind a glass shelf and perceived as more valuable than dirt and rocks. In both cases, they're inanimate objects. What is perceived in this case as protection is really power and control over women as dehumanized beings, which leads back to the overall issue of violence against women. So instead of telling women that we must participate in our own objectification for the sake of illy perceived protection, we should instead focus on uplifting the humanity and human rights of women.
What? What? Okay, y'all. That was the weirdest stretch I have ever heard. That take did not make any sense. Okay, Erica did not. She used the things as an analogy. I'm gonna tell you that was a good analogy. For example, things of higher perceived value are going to be protected more. Things of lower perceived value are not going to be protected more. If somebody, let's be real, if somebody jumped in, if there was a burning building and you had Erica Lachey and you had Suki Hana in the same floor, people are going to save Erica before they save Suki. unless there's some type of big fan or something like that. But let's be real. That's why the president has the Secret Service. Everybody doesn't have the access to the Secret Service. Everybody doesn't have that. Why? Why does the president's life matter more than my life? Well, because he is the president. Like it or not, he has the perceived value of the president of the United States of America. So he is going to have a higher level of protection than a rapper or even an average person. Okay, the protection that, for instance, let's look at the protection that we talk about Sukihana. When Sukihana goes to different places, she might have a bodyguard, or when she's on stage, Sexy Red, she might have a bodyguard. The protection that Sukihana and Sexy Red get are nowhere near the protection that Beyonce is gonna get when she's on stage at all. Why? Because Beyonce is perceived as a higher level than Sukihana and Sexy Red. Therefore, they're going to be armed with an extra layer of protection. Okay? The president is seen, whether you like it or not, they're seen as a higher level in society, so they're going to be protected more in society. People protect things that they value. If you say things like, okay, I'm going to be a valued person, I'm going to be more protected than a person who's not valued. You cannot literally say a doctor, let's say both women, a female doctor or a female judge deserves, or a female congressman or whatever, deserves the same amount of protection of a female crackhead. Nobody's going to make that argument, because the doctors, the judges, the lawyers have a higher value in society than the crackhead, and nobody's harming crackheads. Nobody's condoning any harm of crackheads. Let's not say that, but that's just the way the world works. Erica's just talking about the way the world works. She's saying it's dehumanizing. Well, okay, with that argument, isn't it dehumanizing for somebody to just blindly put their own life on the line for somebody else who doesn't want to listen to them? Who doesn't, you show that you don't have to respect a man, and you respect by listening. You show you don't have to respect a man, you don't have to listen to a man or anything, but they should put their life on the line to protect your life. Isn't that dehumanizing? It's dehumanizing when you look at it that way. Why is your life on a higher pedestal than the other person's life if you don't even have to listen? What makes your life more valuable in that case? Because you're dehumanizing the protector. It's not dehumanizing when they're both working together. When the protector is saying, I'm going to protect you, but in return, I'm going to need you to listen. And the person who is being protected says, okay, I expect your protection, and in return, I will listen to what you have to say. Then it's not dehumanizing. When you say one party doesn't have to listen at all, but the other person jumps in to protect, then that would be dehumanizing. When you say that one person has to listen, but the other person doesn't have to protect, then that would be dehumanizing. But you see how the gender roles that they complain about, you see how that works, and everybody is kind of human. You see that? That's very interesting. But she made a second one, though. Let me scroll down. This is her part 2, because she wasn't done. Y'all thought she was done. She wasn't.
Problematic to compare Black women to. So I made a video about why it's problematic to compare Black women to diamonds, rubies, and dirt in conversations about whether or not we deserve to be protected. And there were a number of people in my comment section telling me I simply misinterpreted the analogy. Let's review one of the threads someone left on my comment section. No one deserves to be harmed, but that also doesn't mean that you have an obligation to save everyone. Those two concepts can coexist. Some people go out of their way to get themselves in situations that could have been avoided and then expect saving. If you're someone that is putting yourself in harm's way or making reckless choices because you have Big Brother or Dad to save you, that's irresponsible. So let's review what was just said, because we've heard all of this before. Number one, we don't have an obligation to save everyone. Number 2, some people go out of their way to put themselves in bad situations. Number 3, some people get in situations that could have been avoided. Number 4, certain people are putting themselves in harm's way. And number 5, some people are making reckless choices and expecting to be saved, which is irresponsible. All of these statements have been used against police brutality victims as an excuse for the violence that was perpetrated against them.
Do you see the comparison that they're making? God.
And yet, collectively as a community, we were able to point out how one person just simply living their lives is not the equivalent to systemic oppression. It's not an excuse for the violence that stems from systemic oppression. And yet, somehow, when it comes to Black women, certain people cannot grasp this concept. So I'll say it again. Stop focusing on narratives that dehumanize and victim blame, and instead focus on making society safer and uplifting the humanity, respect, and safety of Black women.
Okay. I'm gonna use another analogy, and I like that. One of the things that I like Erica does is she uses a lot of analogies that can be easily understood. I like that because I use a lot of analogies. I like people who can understand the context of things and how to convey things by using analogies. Let's say this: if a firefighters, you're supposed to call them, and if your house is on fire, they're supposed to come with their fire truck and take the fire out. They're supposed to use the fire hose, fire extinguishers, all that stuff. They're supposed to come and put the fire out. That's what they're supposed to do. Yet, you still see firefighters tell people, make sure you turn your oven off before you leave the house. Make sure the gas is off. If there's a gas leak, make sure you take care of that. Don't if you're smoking in the house or whatever, make sure you put the whatever it is out all the way before you throw it in the trash can. Do certain things to prevent a fire. Make sure that your electric is up to date so you don't have an electric fire. Don't leave your heater on next to flammable objects. Firefighters still say things to advise you from being in the situation where your house is burning down. You can't say, I shouldn't have to listen to a firefighter. I shouldn't have to listen to anything. I can smoke wherever I want. I can leave the heater on. I can leave the stove on. And you still should just come and put my house out if it's burned down in the first place. It doesn't matter. No, that's not the case. Okay, you have to look at it like that. What she's saying is, okay, y'all want certain things, but these men advise you to do stuff so your house don't ever catch on fire in the first place. Your house don't even have to catch on fire for somebody to come and put it out if you listen to those simple rules. But you're saying I should have the liberty to rebel against those rules. And if my house burns down, I'm going to be mad at the firefighters for not coming in time and putting it out. That's illogical. That is illogical. Why? Because mistakes happen. Situations happen. This is planet Earth. This is reality. Bad things happen. Bad things will always happen. Nobody is justifying what she brought up with the police brutality thing. People use that to justify and say the police are not wrong. That's why people use it. That's why it's such a bad point to bring up, an analogy to bring up, because nobody is saying that the dude who hit her in the head with a brick is not wrong. There's no video of people saying that, except trolls who are only doing stuff for attention. And these trolls are always trolls. Nobody's saying he's not wrong. But we're saying, okay, he's wrong, but here's something we should learn as women too, to protect ourselves. Oh, what do you mean? We shouldn't have to do anything. What? Okay, that's not true. The person who stole your car is still just as wrong if your car was locked or unlocked, but you should leave it locked. That's just logic. Now, y'all brace yourself for this. Y'all thought we was done We are not. We are not done, family. We are not done. I got something way more, as our sister Zizi would say, egregious for you guys here. I'm sorry in advance. The divestors. Boy, oh boy. Y'all knew we had to go there. Here we go. Here we go. Y'all would actually be a little surprised to hear what they have to say about this.
This thing here. Excuse me, y'all. What has this channel been saying for the longest time? Get your ass away from the Black community. No matter who it is. Mammies, Dusties. Dust is worldwide. 2 coochie minimum. Black folks are attention whores. You better get away from the Black community. Black men hate your guts. It's all, yeah, right here on this platform. And every goddamn day, there's something going on where it's kind of like, yeah, they was right. Check.
Black men hate, real, look, okay. Y'all just wait. Oh, we getting started. Now, for real. Y'all just wait.
Check it out, y'all. Y'all got some people out here that's so goddamn dizzy for dick, attention, and whatever else that you got to do.
I'm gonna say one thing. Most of these divestors are the unpicked. They want to talk about pick-me's. Let's talk about the unpicked. Cause y'all be talking about pick-me's. I'm gonna keep it real with you. At least the pick-me's, they ain't gonna let nobody. The pick-me's that have a man who will jump in front of them and make sure they don't get hit in the face with a brick. These folks who be talking about the pick-me's have a group of men who will not let a single thing happen to them. Y'all are the unpicked, the undesirable. Most of them are. You can listen to people's voice. And you can tell they kind of old. They're old in age. You can listen to people's voice, and you can tell they kind of smoked a lot. And their voice sounds like, yeah, it sounds like you used to smoke. You can listen to people's voice and tell, yeah, you probably a good 40, 50 pounds, 60 pounds overweight. You can tell that. I'm gonna give you this. In most of these divestors, they use cartoon pics, and they be saying they things against black men. They be using cartoon pics. Most of them are not attractive women at all. Most divestors aren't. That's why they use cartoon pics. That's why they don't show pictures of themselves. Because I'm gonna be honest, a pretty girl, a pretty woman who knows she pretty too, she don't mind taking a picture of herself. Now there's some who like, oh, I don't want my corporate job. Okay. Yeah, it's some, but most of the divestors, they're beat up. They got weird shapes and stuff like that. Like their thighs are uneven. They got their fat is all weirdly proportioned or whatever. They don't got no edges. They're just, black men ain't really kind of checking. Black men ain't really on that page with them. There's an over obsession with black men. If they don't like black men, why do they make whole platforms talking about black men that they don't like? It's kind of weird. I don't eat pork. This is why you don't see me talking about pork, because I don't eat it. It would be weird for me to always bring up, I don't eat pork. You know I don't eat pork. Hey, hate pork. Pig, ew, swine, ew. It would be a little weird. If I did not believe in aliens, it would be very weird for me to constantly talk about how much I don't believe in aliens. We get it. You don't believe in aliens. Why do you keep talking about aliens? These divestors who don't like black men are always talking about black men. Okay, let's listen. But they talk about protecting black women, and let's see how much they protect black women.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11 live streams to go ahead and correct.
Let's be y'all. I want a number. I need a number based off her voice alone. What do you think from a scale of 1 to 10? Even numbers only. I'm gonna do like Jason Black. Even numbers only. What would you guys think she rates from a scale of 1 to 10? While she's talking about divestors. I want to see what y'all think.
Wreck some shit.
Because I want to know, do you think that she's turning down men? You think she's turning down men? I want to know. What some people saying, Great Black Shark, shout out to him, 0. Keep 0. 2. 2. -12. Damn. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. 0. -1. 2. 3. 0. Come on. 0. Oh wow. Okay. Negative. Okay. All right.
I told y'all, quit running to your goddamn microphone every time you see something. I told y'all also, look at it, grab your chin, rub your chin, take a breath, and go, let me see what's happening here. But no, I forget. My bad, bitches. I forgot the 21st of the month is very, very serious around this bitch. That's why you limit your F-bombs. That's why you run to be the first. That's why you always putting out bad information. That's why you always faking emotion. That's why you pretend like you give a fuck about these black women, right? And here's the deal. This bitch here got hit with a brick by a black man. The story went as this.
Why is she calling her a bitch? Damn. What did she do to deserve being called? You don't even see the black men doing that. These are the divestors who claim they care about women, and all of what they do is under the guise of protecting black women. They love black women so much that they want black men to stay away because they protect black women. What did this woman do to deserve being? I don't even see the people saying it was justified calling her a bitch, but she get worse than that.
She's out there minding her lovely fucking business, just being the lighthearted, feminine, whatever weirdo bitch she's in. And then all of a sudden some nigga came up and said, can I get your phone number? And she goes, no, no, I'm taken. I'm not really interested, or whatever the fuck the bitch said. Then he was like, oh, really? Brick, pow, bitch, right in the kisser. That was the story that you heard. First of all, I'm gonna keep it real with you. This ain't black men's beauty standard. Okay, number one, she's too tall. Number two, she's too dark. This is black men we talking about here.
Okay, she's too tall and she's too dark. That's fair. That's fair. That's not the black men's beauty standard. Okay, let me ask the black men in the chat room, since we just saw Erica Lachey, even numbers only, black men in the chat room, what would you rate Erica Lachey? Even number, not even doing even numbers, but what would you rate if being dark is a problem and black men don't like dark or tall women? What would you rate her? So, a dark-skinned woman who, no, I wouldn't say she's like tall, but you know, she's not short. So I want to know, because these divestors are always saying black men hate dark-skinned women. Black men hate dark-skinned women. Okay, we got. This nigga said 20. Okay, all right, brother. Oh, 20. Another 20. Okay, 8.5. Okay, 8.5. Another 20. Wow. Okay, this man says 1 million. All right. Okay, let Erica Lachey know that she got some options over here. 7.5. Okay, 8. Okay, so I don't think black men have a thing against dark-skinned women, even if that, and to the men, I'm not even saying that that's their type, but I don't think if a attractive dark-skinned woman comes up and everything like that, and she, you know, she's cooperative, she's cool, she's nice to be around, men don't got no problem with them. I'm gonna be honest, do you see attractive women who are in shape, they go to the gym, but they're very dark-skinned? They're very dark. Let me ask the chat a question. Since black men don't like dark-skinned women, okay? Since black men don't like dark-skinned women, do you guys think that let's say, and let me ask you a question. Leave a 1 for yes and a 2 for no. A 1 for yes, a 2 for no. If there was a woman, very articulate, natural hair, very in shape, goes to the gym all the time, got her own like business, maybe she makes candles or whatever the case is, no kids, no baggage, you know, got her own money, but she's not rebellious or anything. Everything you want in a woman, whatever that is perfect, but she's just dark-skinned. She's just dark-skinned. Leave a 1 if you would still take her, even though she's dark-skinned, or leave a 2 if you be all like, everything's fine, but I just can't do dark-skinned. Leave a 1 if you would take a dark-skinned woman like that, and leave a 2 if you would turn that down. I want to know, since they keep trying to push this narrative that black men hate all dark-skinned women. I want to know. Okay, I'll see a lot of 1s. I see a lot of 1s, and this is what I expected. I see a lot of 1s. Yeah, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. I think this is going against 1, 1. I think this is going against the narrative that black men don't like 1, 1. Man, there's a lot of 1s. That might be what the brothers is looking for, actually. Let's be honest. Let's be real with it. Let's be real with it. Come on. There's so many 1s I can't even count them all. My chat room is flooding with the number 1, y'all. It's flooding with the number 1. I can't count them all. I cannot count them all. To the dark-skinned women, listen, look, you got a lot of brothers. You got a lot of brothers in here who like dark-skinned sisters. I'm just saying. So let's pass that narrative. Let's push past that narrative that black men like dark skin. Let's push that narrative. That's been debunked in this very chat room right here. All right, let's continue.
Number 3, she got a little bit of weight on her. You would be his secret, if anything. He's not gonna walk up to you and ask for your number in front of everybody. Can we keep it real tonight? Take a breath. Take a breath, because I'm tired of the delusion. So I kept following the story. Let's just follow the story around. And she goes from this to this. Now, when you mess around with black men, when you mess around with black males, I don't give a fuck where they come from. I see dusty chap lip niggas talking about, oh, he's Haitian. What they call that shit? ADOS ain't had nothing to do with that, because if it was ADOS, we would have gone ahead and checked that nigga. That's the tether. Listen, stop playing in our fucking face. All you niggas are violent. All you niggas hate black women. You only use them for what you can get them for.
Okay. All black men hate black women. Oh, okay. All right.
I've been knowing that since the 90s. But for some reason, in this beautiful year of 2023, there's still bitches that think y'all somehow not all. And I'm not going. But ladies, let me say this.
Mind you, she's gonna say all black men hate black women. All of them. ALL. Do you guys know, about a week ago, there was a white supremacist in Jacksonville, Florida, who went, and this is why this is very serious, because there was a white supremacist who went in a store and shot 3 innocent black people, including a woman. Said he hated women, or hated black people, not hated black men, hated black people. Dylan Roof, he killed black people. Peyton Gendron killed black people. He didn't just kill black men, he killed black women. Peyton Gendron killed black women. Ryan Palmetto killed black women. Let's be very, very clear with this. And we can talk about many different instances. We can talk about Breonna Taylor, who was killed by a white man. We can talk about Sandra Bland, who they say allegedly they don't know what happened, but we know it was white men who killed her. We can talk about Atiana Jefferson, killed by a white man. But they're not going to say all white men hate black women. They won't say that. Massacring black women. Okay? But they wouldn't fix their lips to say all white men hate black women. They won't do that. They're going to ignore that. Okay.
Justice. She should have never been hit in the head with a brick. Okay? When a woman pisses you off, if you're a real man, you walk away. If you asked her for her number and the answer was no, it's no. You don't get to put your hands on people. Y'all, I'm no fan of this bitch, but she shouldn't have been hit in the head with a brick. Point blank the fuck, period. That's ridiculous the way she looks. That shit is the thing of nightmare. She looks like she has a Siamese twin on the side of her fucking face. Justice for her. Now, I told you I was going to be nice. Then I was going to be a little mean. This bitch is a wretched ass.
That was her being nice. That was her being nice. Okay. Are we in for it, y'all?
Goddamn scumbag scallywag. Okay. The other thing is, she absolutely loves black men. And they gave her a gift. It's on the right side of her face. Right? Let's go ahead and see how much she loves.
All black men gave her this. The responsibility, the person who hit him was non-FBA. But all black men gave her this. Okay.
Of the Canes. Let's go.
Y'all want me to be racist so bad when I'm not a bigot like you and your ancestors. In fact, I'm a courageous, brave Black woman, outspoken like my ancestors. And by definition, I can't even be racist because I don't have any structures or systems that uphold or help me or support me to do and carry on racist acts. So for example, if I have an employer, a landlord, a neighbor, or even just a random Karen walking down the street, they can, if they don't like Black people, they can affect my safetiness in that moment or my livelihood in general. But me, if I don't like white people, the only thing I can do is talk shit. So again, I don't hate white people. I hate whiteness. When I'm done dismantling whiteness, white people will still be here. You're going to be okay. I know equality scares the shit out of you, but you're going to be all right. Also, for the Black people that do hate white people, it's okay. Heal, take your time. I'm uplifting your anger. Because after 400 years of imperialism, colonialism, brutality, oppression, I think you're allowed to be mad. So yes, if I am trying to dismantle the systems that you're upholding, you might feel very attacked. But unfortunately, I don't care about your white fragility. You don't always get what you want. Excuse me, thank you.
Now, let's pause it. That was her attempt, I guess, of calling out white supremacy. Which, okay, we can give, you know what, I give her that attempt. But she's made some other videos of her talking against Black men and all that stuff. And so let's be honest, this girl is all over the place. In most of her videos, she's kind of like, she's one of those corny chicks who like make a lot of jokes and none of them are funny. It's better to not make jokes if you're not a funny person. If you're a funny person, you can make a lot of jokes. If you're not a funny person, it's better to not make jokes than to try to make jokes that are unfunny. She tries to make jokes and spins or takes and she just doesn't land. And this doesn't justify her getting hit in the head with a brick. I don't want nobody saying that. But it doesn't land. But listen, these protect Black women divestors, listen to how angry they get when she calls out racism and white supremacy.
Bro, sounded like a goddamn evil villain, right? She around here dismantling whiteness. I'm feeling attacked. Bitch, you were attacked by the same people you was taking up for. But Daisy, she didn't say nothing about Black men. You making shit up. She don't take up for white Black men. She don't. No. What's this?
So I'm not a TikTok girl, but I'm taking a break from IG. So here we are. Today I saw a story about a Black man who got 70 years for spitting at officers. And of course they mentioned his priors and all that, but it still does not make sense to anybody with eyes. Right? And you know, in my opinion, we don't have that much information because in my opinion, the story was intentionally vague and racially charged. But the part that I wanted to unpack and bring attention to was that this Black man was handcuffed and in the backseat of a police car, which is confined and can't get out. He's all
blah, 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 blah.
No, look at how mad. Now I'll give the lady that. The lady spoke up on the issue of a Black man who was railroaded, essentially, got 70 years for quote unquote spitting on an officer. You get 70 years for murder, not spitting on somebody. Okay. So she called that out. And I'll give her credit for that. I'll give her props for that. I don't got no problem giving people credit where credit is due. But I want you to see the response that the divestors, now ain't these the we protect black women? Oh, but when the black woman isn't a zaddy worshiping divester, when the black women don't hate and have bitterness towards black men, when the woman, more importantly, doesn't have a fetish and love for slave play and white people, then they don't deserve protection. Now, I want you to notice something as well. Notice she is talking more disparaging and degrading on this woman than any single man you've seen, quote unquote, trying to justify this. She's calling this woman a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, damn, I've been seeing a whole bunch of videos. Ain't nobody talked about this lady like this.
Man, black people, white imperialism, racism, oppression. You get it. Okay? So call me a bitch, but I'm feeling a way already. You're taking up for people that made you look like your cell phone is slid up under your skin, whore. You're looking like you're using that shit as some sort of hands-free device in order to get your... Look, you at them imperialist, oppressionist people's hospital trying to figure out whether you got a concussion and shit. You're weird. Ladies, stay your ass away from these people. Look, it's a lot going on with this bitch. Before you feel sorry for her, let her get her justice, whatever. Arrest whoever that nigga was. By the way, she was carried off, the dude that smacked her with the brick, he was carried off by a car full of black women. I told you that mammy bitches will hide your body for black men. They will. He made his escape route with a bunch of black women.
Okay. And let's pause it there. Okay. Do y'all hear the way she's talking about this girl who got victimized? Even the ones who are saying, she shouldn't have been around that, or she shouldn't have been goofy, she shouldn't have did. Even the ones who are kind of like holding her a little bit accountable, she sent up there, this bitch, this whore, this damn. Divestors, I thought y'all was all about protecting black women. No. I thought y'all was protecting black women from black men. It seemed like black women need protection from the divestors the way it looks. This woman damn near got a concussion and you calling her a whore because she talked about white people? Damn, it seems like your loyalty isn't to black women as much as it is to white people. It's kind of what it's looking like to me. And then she's gonna go on and say the black man got away in a car full of black women. Earlier in the video, in this very live, you saw I played a clip from Conscious Lee. Conscious Lee showed the woman's spinning around. Nobody said anything, and the woman we're speaking of has not made us a video giving a description of the guy, of the car. She didn't say in the video if the car was full of black women. Nobody is saying that. Because apparently nobody know what this guy looked like, but they know he got in a car full of black women. She just made that up. Where did she get the fact that he was in a car full of black women? Where is that coming from? Because she didn't get it from the victim.
I know that y'all sick and tired of seeing this video because there's a bunch of birds that had to come on here and make a whole bunch of corrections and all that shit for this bitch. I'm not going to play it all, but let's go ahead and take a 30-second look because we got to make sure we do facts around here instead of jumping on here talking about all men are bad. Can you believe that? There's bitches on here because a nigga smacked her in the face with a brick. Now all of a sudden, all men are bad. Girl, just go ahead and eat that bitches next to you, snatch, and shut the fuck up. Stop it.
Yo,
Let's go.
this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a fuck. Yeah, this man hit me, grabbed a rock, and it hit me in my face, and I would have given him my number. And all y'all just watch. Y'all see that shit? Y'all see that shit? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man and fucking do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face? All y'all have I ever done?
through that hospital video because every bitch on this goddamn internet have showed y'all that, and I'm sure you watched it by yourself. Ladies, that shit was basically for show. I know you're not gonna sit here and tell me that a grown-ass black woman think a black man or a group of black men were going to protect her from anything. I'm not going, right?
Black, yeah, of course, yeah. Black men don't protect black women from nothing at all, but especially a strange black woman that they don't know. But actually, y'all want to see something? Because I guess because the narrative is, well, black men, they don't protect black women. This is why I say on my channel, I don't speak against black women negatively whatsoever. Anything I do say that is constructive criticism is meant out of love and for their betterment. Okay? I hold black men accountable, but I'm not going to sit up there and castrate black men. I'm not going to not give black men their credit, because that's something we've had in this community for the longest time, not giving good black men their credit. Okay, so I'm going to give black women their credit. I'm going to give black men their credit. Let's look, since nobody can expect a man to jump in danger to protect nothing. Let's look at this. Do y'all remember this?
Here you see the dining room full of people, then glass flying through the air as bullets pierce the windows. Watch as customers dive for cover, gunfire raining from the shooter's semi-automatic weapon. Then, in an act of pure bravery and courage ignited by terror, the man hailed as the Waffle House hero, James Shaw, confronts the gunman who had just charged inside the restaurant, forcing the shooter back out. Look again, right there, as Shaw throws the shooter to the ground. A struggle ensues before Shaw wrestles away the AR-15, still so hot from gunfire it burned his hands. Shaw recalling the heart-pounding moments when he took the stand Monday for the prosecution.
I finally get the gun and I throw it, and I watch the gun look like it was in the air for days.
Hey, shout out to that brother. Torian, you said Chadwick Boseman, much respect to Chadwick Boseman. He dedicated an award to him when he did this. I'm gonna be honest, that brother did not get nearly as much credit as he should. Chadwick Boseman is almost the only celebrity of high status who recognized that. He's the only celebrity who recognized that. Okay, but if somebody say, oh, you know what? Okay, he was doing that, but he was also protecting himself. Okay. What about this brother?
Good news around the Mid-South. An heroic Mississippi teen saving 4 people, including an officer. 16-year-old Corian Evans jumped into action when he saw a car drive off a boat launch into the Pascagoula River. Inside, 3 girls, but Evans also saved Moss Point police officer Gary Mercer, who responded to the scene and swam out to help the girls.
The car was under the water. They was in the water, trying to stay above the water, saying help. So I ran over there. I took my shoes off and I took my shirt off and I jumped in the water. And at first I got the girl that was closest to me. Her name was Logan. And I turned around. I see the police officer. He drowning. He going underwater, drowning, saying help. So I went over there. I went and I grabbed the police officer and I'm swimming him back until I felt myself I could walk.
Look, shout out to that brother. 16 years old. He put himself in danger. Okay. He put himself in danger to jump in there and save them, and an officer too. He didn't get the credit he deserved, really, to be honest. And we can bring up time and time again of black men stopping active shooters, black men running and burning buildings to save people, black men scaling buildings to save people, women, babies, all that stuff. Black men saving people from them being electrocuted on a train track. Black men be doing that stuff all the time, and folks don't want to give credit. This is one thing that I don't like and I can't stand. There'd be 100 black men who be out here acting like the damn Avengers, saving people's lives on a daily basis. Then you got 10 black men who say, I don't care about saving nobody. And then everybody's like, oh my God, black men ain't shit. Black men don't do nothing right. Oh my God, black men, aren't you the weakest link and terrible? So y'all ignoring majority and all these good black men who are out here saving the day, out here doing stuff to save people. And then y'all want to hyper focus on the bad ones. Okay? Y'all don't be giving black men their credit. That's my problem. Because y'all want to look at this and y'all want to put the blanket statement of all black men. Now, when our brother James, when he jumped in the water, or the other brother, not James jumped in the water, when James stopped the active shooter, nobody was like, all black men are heroes for stopping this shooter. When black men do something positive, you don't hear it's an all black men. Black men don't get old unless it's negative. Only when it's negative do all black men got to be held accountable. But all black men damn near don't get rewarded if the black man who actually did do it get rewarded. That's the problem. So we're not going to sit here and play that game. Now, we're not going to listen to this whole thing at all. But I got a little bit more because I want to get to one point.
And I'm finna get to you ladies on the panel. I just want to lay this shit out. By the way, she doesn't have a problem with hitting people. She took down her TikTok, but bitch, you didn't take it down fast enough. Huh? What's this?
This is for the fact that you're a white man and I'm a black woman. I have less privilege than you. Thank you.
I feel about that.
Look, there she go again. Brouhaha, sounding like an evil villain. And that's not the only other white man she slapped. What's this, whore?
You ever fuck with me on a thing ever again?
Then she hit us with the twerk. Y'all, this bitch got everything that I hate. The twerking, the pro-blackness, the attention whoring, all this shit, right? And word on the curb is the bitch has a GoFundMe. Wait a minute. I thought you had your shit together. That GoFundMe, that's supposed to be for medical assistance. I thought that you would have insurance as much shit as you talk, bitch. Is that a grift? I'm trying to see something. You don't know how to keep your hands to yourself. See, but you played that game with the wrong group of apes. They went on ahead and slid your cell phone up under the side of your face. Y'all better get away from these niggas. They are violent. You better. She didn't believe fat meat was greasy. Okay? Aaliyah, what you got on this bitch?
Oh, I have a lot, but my commentary.
I just want you guys to process how disparaging she's talking about this woman. And we all understand that those things were skits where she was slapping those white. Those were a bunch of corny skits or whatever the case is. But those were skits. Those were skits. Why is she sitting up there? You should call. Did she deserve to be called a whore? No. Notice none of the men are talking about this woman as disparaging as this black woman is. This is a black woman who is talking more shit about this lady than any black man has.
So not just about her, but more so about black women in general, because I'll tell y'all what I find most interesting about all of this. When we discussed the Montgomery dock brawl, people hated that commentary and talked much shit about us, just like they always do. And then when the shit hits the fan, who do they start quoting? See, a lot of y'all bitches got some big brass ass balls. We told y'all then that you shouldn't have been out there fighting with grown ass men on behalf of these black men, and you damn sure shouldn't have been condoning them bashing women upside their heads with chairs. But y'all said fuck that, and you reveled in that shit for weeks, and you had bitches on huge black media platforms sitting up there laughing, and you had YouTube hoes who were celebrating, talking about this is the WWE, knowing damn well that the same motherfuckers they were fighting alongside is really who they needed the protection from. And
y'all, do y'all hear? Here's my thing. I'm not a person who's like, women can't curse at all. I'm not really like that when it comes to cursing, that if a woman says a curse word, she's garbage. I'm not like that. But like, y'all, listen to the language. Is this ladylike language? This damn whore got what she deserved. This ugly bitch. These motherfuckers. Like, y'all hear? Is this ladylike language, y'all? Y'all think these women are curving any black men, or you think they getting curved? Do y'all think white men even like this type of language? Look at how unladylike and unpicked they are. just by listening to them speak. Like, ew.
And I said that then, y'all should be very fucking careful with what y'all are co-signing, because it's not smart to publicly co-sign brawling with grown-ass men and equal opportunity ass whoopings as women, especially when you come from a community where the men don't protect the women and you are on your own. So we're gonna need—
Was the woman who was drowning on her own when the 16-year-old brother jumped in the lake? Not a pool, a lake. Mind you, too, also, some of the video didn't show, that was night. It was in the middle of the night. That's why she drove off, because she couldn't see. It was in the middle of the night, and a 16-year-old jumped in a lake to save multiple people. All right. Keep that in mind as they're talking.
Need our shit back. The bed wenches are gonna need all our shit back with interest. Cause y'all party for weeks when that man bashed that lady upside her head with that chair. But
Yes.
what y'all better do, black women, is get your heads out of your asses. Because we don't throw out fake advice that has everybody screaming like fools about how weak black men are, but are still promoting y'all riding their so-called big dicks. So they're so weak and feminine and they don't help y'all do shit, but you still promote fucking and sucking them in and a boy.
Now look at the disingenuous argument right here. I want y'all to look at this comment. If the police wasn't defunded like mammies wanted it, it wouldn't be bricks flying on faces everywhere. First off, ma'am, or whatever you are, the police were not defunded. These people who be talking about protect black women, do y'all know who Breonna Taylor was? Do y'all know who Sandra Bland was? Do y'all know who Atiana Jefferson was? All of the police who do stuff to black women. I just brought up a story not too long ago, maybe a month ago in a live, about a police it's an Asian officer actually who was out there. He was forcing women to give him oral sex. Now the divestors didn't make a video about that, but protect black women though. Yeah, okay, all right.
And their male children at the end of the day. See, over here, we tell y'all to just get far the fuck away from these niggas and their co-conspirators. And you think us discussing your survival is somehow a game. Get your head out of your asses. Y'all have got to get serious about this. We told y'all several times.
Somebody says the white nurses and doctors gave you care, stupid mammy. How do you know that they were white? How do you know that they were white? First off, the nurses and doctors are in the hospital and they're getting paid. They didn't do it for free. Nurses and doctors didn't come to the rescue for free. They got paid. And how do you know that they were white? See, these divestors are just saying stuff.
To get serious about your fitness. This has nothing to do with vanity. But if you cannot breathe, you cannot run. When I run like I'm running for my life, because someday I just might be. You got to think smarter than this, because these black men are literally trying to terminate y'all at this point. And you can keep playing with this if you want to, but you better stop taking your safety so lightly.
Y'all, does this sound like this woman can run and her health is in check? Because I'm going to be honest, and this doesn't have anything to do with the accent, because there's a lot of fit women with accents. This ain't got nothing to do with the accent. This got something to do with the deepness of the breath and the voice. You know how heavy set women, their voice is a little deeper because they're a little heavier than everybody else. You can tell they're women. They don't got a masculine. It's not a bass like men have, but they have a deepness to their voice. These women don't sound like they in shape. There's not a single in shape female I know who sounds like any of these women.
Lisa Blackman, I want the link down there. These motherfuckers are black, Haitian, black, Jamaican, black, Somalian, black. They black folk, okay? See, that's the shit that Tariq Nasheed was doing over there, right? Trying to start ciphering up shit when shit started hitting the fan. The other day, the bitch was black. Now that she got the brick upside her head, the bitch still black. How about that part?
See,
Lisa, you know the tea. Lisa, you know the tea because we be behind the wall, girl. Come on.
Then they brought up Tariq, because Tariq is pointing out the very obvious elephant in the damn room, that these people are Somalian. And when you go, not only are these people, why is it relevant that these people are Somalian? Because when you go to their countries, you see similar behavior like this on the regular basis. I'm going to be honest with you. In the FBA community, you don't see stuff like this on a regular basis. And men just driving up. If this, even in the hood, you don't see stuff like this happen. I'm gonna pause it right here, and I'm gonna say this. In the hood, if this happened, you would have niggas in the hood looking for the person who did this. You would have them looking for folks who did this. Now, do we have some crazy folks that are FBA? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But let's be honest. The culture of the people matter. They matter a lot. Okay? Japanese men are not at all going to take responsibility under the banner of being Asian for something North Korea does. They will not do that. Italian men are not at all going to take any accountability under the banner of being European because of something an Irish person does. They won't do that. So different ethnicities, notice it's only black people. Only black people. Different ethnicities, they don't have to be held accountable for a culture thing within another ethnicity, even if they're in the same race. Because she's black, we're all in the black race. But under that umbrella, we have different branches. We're on the FBA branch. No disrespect to the Somalian branch or the other branches, but we're on a different branch. We're not going to take accountability. We can feel sorry, but we're not going to take accountability and walk and do the walk of shame because of something that happened on another branch. We're not going to do that because they don't do that. They don't do that. When FBA do something that's messed up, you don't see a whole bunch of Nigerians like, we got to hold ourselves accountable. You don't see that happening. You don't. You don't see Somalians do that. You don't. You don't see Haitians do that. You don't. They look at that. Oh, that's y'all. That's on y'all. When we do something negative, it's on us. When they do something negative, it's on everybody. Not working that way. And the same thing goes positively. The same thing positive. Remember Sha'Carri Richardson, right? When she lost and the Jamaicans won, it was Jamaica. Oh, Jamaica, they so fast and nobody can beat Jamaica. Nobody, not only Jamaica, the whole Caribbean celebrated. Everybody, Caribbean. Okay. Yeah, the Caribbean so fast, ain't nobody can touch us. We smoking everybody. Then when Sha'Carri won and became the fastest woman in the world, they all like, black girls, black, everybody's unified and blackity, black. That's what they do with us. So it's different branches when they want it to be, and then it's just this one big bubble when they want it to be. And that's what Tariq was pointing out. So Tariq is all like, no, it's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way. You're not going to sit up there and do something that's, and why it matters is because that's kind of indicative of your culture in your homeland. You're not going to do something that's indicative of your culture and homeland, and then we got to do it. We got to hold ourselves accountable on our country. I can't, as an FBA brother, I can't take a bunch of me and 100 different FBA brothers went to Somalia, went to Nigeria, and we started committing crimes. They ain't gonna say, oh, black people, y'all are shameful. No. It's going to be y'all are on a different branch. And how we know it works that way is because everybody does it all the time. It's only us that it's all like, oh, it don't matter because they're black. And until recently, we've been accepting that. But now, because Tariq made a couple spaces about it, but now Tariq is all like, hey, we all guilty because we all black. We not gonna do that. Because when y'all doing something positive, y'all don't gotta share that with the black diaspora. But now when y'all do something negative, y'all gotta share that with the black diaspora and then low-key put more of the weight onto us. Oh, no. No. We only gonna play a little bit further into this.
And see, that's another thing I was about to say. The amount of lying and passing the buck that I've seen black people doing about this is ridiculous. But I'm not surprised because it's typical. Y'all don't have any men. Y'all men are wearing dresses and grabbing their ankles. This behavior is not out of...
Men are wearing dresses and grabbing their ankles. There are not white men who wear dresses and grab their ankles. Wasn't Henry Styles on the front of a magazine for wearing a dress? Really?
Ordinary for them. We've watched them assaulting black women in some type of way for years, which is why we recommend avoiding them. I know y'all remember that man who slapped that woman with that skateboard, that black man that broke that black woman's jaw on that subway platform, that black man that kicked that old black lady in the head on that bus, that black man that shoved that black woman in the freezer. These people are claiming to know everything about the A, but somehow you didn't know that a young woman now has a steel rod permanently in her leg where a black man shot her because she didn't want to talk to him. You had black men around here mauling faces and biting out eyeballs because a black woman.
Now she brings up, and we done with this. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't stomach no more. We done. It's over. She's gonna bring up a whole bunch of anecdotal instances where black men have done things which I completely do not agree of. No context, because we don't know if they FBA or not. Because to them, based off of what they're saying, it doesn't matter. So we don't know if these people doing this are FBA to other FBAs. We don't know that. But okay, you bringing up incidents where black men have done something, ma'am. If y'all care so much about black women, why didn't y'all say anything when black women get shot by these mass shooters over here? When black women get shot by Dylan Roof, y'all wasn't like, oh, y'all gotta stay away from black, or even domestic violence. Do y'all remember Chad Wheeler? Let me show you a picture of Chad Wheeler. Since we're here, Chad Wheeler, and I'm gonna show you Warren. I don't even know if I want to show that because I got blood on it. It's kind of got blood a little bit. Okay, this one is a little bit drier. It's a little bit better because I don't want to do too much. But y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? This big white NFL football player who beat his black girlfriend almost to death. Okay. Now she was swirling and divesting and staying away from black men the way they tell her to, right? She was doing all that the way they tell her to, right? And then this was what happened. Now, where was the divestors to defend her? Whoa. So it seems as if y'all loyalty is not to black women, but y'all loyalty is to white men. That's what your loyalty is to white men. It's to non-black men, to be honest. Because non-black, if we're going to be very, very, very real, non-black men do this stuff to their women all the time. And this is one thing that's very disingenuous and a lot of people are bringing up too, is because let's be 110% honest. Stuff like this happens in Asia all the time. All the time. Stuff like this happens in these foreign land countries all the time. Okay? All the time. Let's be real. You don't see a bunch of Asian women being all like, you see this? This is why we shouldn't date Asian men. They wouldn't dare. White women be getting their ass beat by they men all the time. You don't see a single white woman being all like, we shouldn't date white men because of that. Not at all. You don't see that. You got all these other ethnic groups of people. They do that. They got those issues. yet they don't put it all on all of their men. It's only when black people do something, only when black people do something, is black men, all black men in this boat. Even though majority of black men said if they were there, they would do something, but we all got to wear this jacket. Nobody else, they wouldn't make, no other group of women, and because most women aren't putting that jacket on black men. Let's be clear about that. Most black women are not trying to put that jacket. I've seen a lot of black women who are trying to be fair and logical, but there are the extremists like that woman, or like the conscious Lees, or like all of those who want to put that jacket on everybody. That's not a fair jacket to put on everybody. This stuff happens at a higher rate in other ethnicities, in other countries. But nobody's sitting up there talking about, this is why you shouldn't date Asian men. This is why you shouldn't date Indian men, because this is what they be doing to their women. You should date them. You should date them. No, they wouldn't do that. They have more loyalty to their lineage, and they have more loyalty to their ethnicity to handle that in-house issue. These people, good point. Thank you, Ro. Thank you. Thank you. Dana White beat his wife in public, had men had to pull him off. Thank you, and thank you for the super chat. Good point. And I did a video on Dana White. You didn't see none of them like, oh my God, they're so aggressive, they're so mean, they're so bad. They treat their own women like, because that's what they say about the divestors, right? That, oh, they treat their own women like trash. Well, with Dana White, right? Huh? And he's had violent incidents before. All of these other all of these other white men who do white women wrong, you don't be seeing nothing about. You don't be seeing the divest from white men movement. You don't be seeing nothing about this. But when it comes to black men, one or two black men can do something, and now every single black man got to wear the label of a woman beater. That's where we're drawing the line. That's where we're saying, no, we're not doing that. Let me get to the dude who played the Flash, Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller, thank you. That's a good one. Nobody was saying nothing about Ezra Miller. Let me see. Get to the fundraiser. He says, let me make this a little bigger. Thank you for the $5 super chat again, brother. He says, I literally saw a video of an Indian man beat, stab, and crush a woman's head over with a rock. Oh my God. Not getting her number. I think I did see something somewhat like that. I think he proposed or something like that, and she said no, and he right then and there ended her life right then and there. Nobody put all Indian men in one box. Nobody did that with them, and they have more of a reason for that because that's more culturally accepted where they're from. That's not culturally accepted here. Protecting women is culturally accepted here. We listen. Look. Can we be honest? Can we be honest? FBA men are the only men who have made it the culture to protect their women, not just from outside men, but from within. We're the only from all danger around. We're the only men who's made that a thing. Period. That did not exist before we did it. All right. I'm being straight up honest. Not just from other races of men, but just from danger, period. That's why you see brothers jumping in lakes to save black women. That's why you see brothers saving stores from being from active shooters. That's why you see brothers running up and burning buildings to save black women. That's why you see brothers scaling. I could bring you so many scaling buildings to save black women. That's why you see that. Not just women they know, women they don't know. That's why you see that. Show me the video of an Asian boy jumping in a lake and saving a bunch of Asian women he doesn't know. Show me that. Show me the white video of a 16-year-old white boy doing that. Show me that. Show me them running, not firefighters, just strangers running into buildings and saving them. Show me that then. Show me the video of them scaling a black man or a white man, Asian man, whatever, scaling a building to save a black woman inside of an apartment building. Show me that. You can't find that. Black men be saving the day on the regular damn basis. And then a single Somalian dude hit a woman in the head with a brick, and now we all got to wear this label. Damn that. Damn that. We're not doing that. It's over with. It is over with. No. Man, y'all get me worked up. We got, I think this might be the first $100 super chat we have on this channel. Brother, thank you. Cornell Sly for the $100 super chat. I appreciate that greatly. Much respect, brother. Much respect. Salute to you, brother. I greatly appreciate that. I'm gonna keep that up for a minute. It says, Afro Elite, keep up the great work, bro. Thank you very much. And thank you for your support. And thank you for all of the support of everybody. Because there's people who donate over and over and over on every stream. So I appreciate every single last one of you all. All right. Thank you, brother. It says, I got you. Thank you. And this is why I understand the thing of protecting women. I'm saying myself, if I was there, I wouldn't allow that to happen. I know the people I'm around. If we were there, we wouldn't have allowed that to just happen and be like, hey, what you want us to do? That wouldn't have been our response. That wouldn't have been our response. Okay. But yeah, because that's a few Somalians, including women, had that response. So us as FBI, no, this is where we're drawing the line. Damn that. Y'all want to do that? Y'all have that talk within your own community, within the Somali community. Why don't y'all have the talk about violence in the Somalian community? Because you can't branch that out and put that weight on everybody else. No. So some people might say, oh, well, FBA men beat FBA women too. You still got, y'all be having the stories of, all the stories of black. Okay. All right. Okay. Y'all say, well, what about Ray Rice? What about Chris Brown? Okay. All right. We deal with that. First off, Chris Brown ain't hit nobody in the head with a brick. Neither did Ray Rice, but okay. They hit women who hit them first, but okay. And nobody's even saying they shouldn't have hit those women. Nobody's justifying them hitting those women. Okay. That's what, nobody's justifying that. But you see in the culture, people still hold Chris Brown accountable for that. Even black men, like, yeah, that's still not cool. People still hold Ray Rice accountable for that. Even though the evidence shows that the women hit him first, people still like, yeah, you shouldn't have did that. But you have those incidents, and we'll deal with that on our own. Y'all go back to y'all community where that happened, and y'all talk about that. Because y'all can't compare Chris Brown and Rihanna and their infighting, because they fought each other a lot, to a stranger picking up a brick and hitting somebody. That is not the same. We'll deal with the Chris Brown and Rihanna stuff, and even though Rihanna's a tether, let's be honest, but we'll deal with that stuff, and then y'all deal with y'all stuff. But don't mix the two. Because we're not doing that. Somebody says, my husband is FBA and he will beat the brakes off anybody over me. I'm sure, yeah. Yes, and that's the thing. A lot of black women, not even just FBA women, a lot of black women know there's a black, whether it's your husband, your father, your brothers, your uncles, your cousins. You know what I'm saying? If you are in a neighborhood and you are close enough to your neighbor's not going to let nothing happen to you. That's just how we roll. That's just how we get down. We don't let that stuff happen. Family, I've been on here for 2.5 hours. We did a lot of talking, a lot of good talking. All right. We broke this down. We're not going to let them push that little black men should be softer, gender fluid agenda. We're not going to let that happen. We're not going to let them push this divester agenda thing happen. We're not going to let, well, men should just protect black women and women shouldn't have to listen to men. All these little agendas they're trying to push with this situation, we're not letting it happen. We're not accepting that. We won't. We're not doing that. All right. So I appreciate everybody for being here. I really do. Let me put this up here. Please make sure the links are in the description below. Make sure you guys subscribe or follow me. My bad. Follow me on my various social media platforms, which is Afro Elite on Instagram and then the Afro Elite on Twitter. Okay, both the links to those are in the description. All right. Another thing too. Yeah, exactly. No more gender wars. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Somebody says don't get softer. Nope, we're not doing that either. Ain't no softness, because when danger pops up, y'all don't want nobody to be soft. She wanted all those men to be hardcore. Now I ain't gonna say gangsters, but hardcore, tough, masculine men. You can't have it both ways. You're not gonna transform from you take your dress and turn your dress into a cape. No. I'm gonna be honest. Black men, you want them to either wear skirts or capes. They can't wear both. They cannot wear both. Make sure you guys follow me on that. Also, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell. Another thing, before we get off here, because we got like 200 people in the room, our good brother Black Alpha, and he's having a video interview with our good elder, Dr. Kaba. Much respect to Dr. Kaba. Okay, good interview with Dr. Kaba. You guys definitely, and it's going on. If it's not right now, it's going on right when we end this. Okay, so y'all can swing over to that, because I know y'all don't want to miss an interview with Black Alpha and Dr. Kaba. Now I know y'all don't want to miss that, so y'all make sure y'all swing over there. All right. So we wrapping this up. We've been on here long, spitting a lot of game, talking to the family, talking it up, chopping it up, but I love it. Okay. I love it. Please make sure you guys like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. All right. Appreciate every single last one of you all. I appreciate you, family. We're going to do this together. No gender war, no agenda, no nothing. Nothing. Somebody says great live. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate every single last one of you guys for being here, for liking, for commenting, for subscribing, for watching, all of that. Thank you so very much. Now, with that being said, my brothers and my sisters, be one salute to every single last one of you all. And of course, you all have a good one.